How many? Just one?
Or Mike, oh,
Is this it? Oh, okay.
That's why I was coming in.
Okay, all right, problem solved. Okay, all right.
They can either go with my recommendations, or they can, again, that's what they're here for. See ya.
and you know, my son's father, I have a 16-year-old, and his dad has one. Wrong. Yeah. I only have one son, but that's his dad. Mhm. They got 1 minute to sign in. We got one more person added.
412 Paddock? Yeah. You don't need to be here. Okay. Well, that's not technically true, but. I don't know, have you made any applications to the building department?
Yes, I did the inspection.
Okay.
That's right. You know, I mean, I
Did
really,
you
I like
get your
the
pack
holidays.
file out for you?
Not necessarily holidays. Fans of it.
Okay, you're welcome. I just wanted to make sure that
It's
you
always
got it.
pretty. We had a lot, but, yeah, my three brothers were
You have a form, Kevin's not here.
half nephews, niece. My family, my father, mother, started in the eight, rotated. They've got doing Vermona. Yeah, I just saw her.
No, Mona Storm.
No, Mona, the court reporter.
That's why I said Storm.
Oh, Storm.
Yeah, Mona and Mona. Mona one and Mona two.
So this one will only be here with that microphone fixed up. Make sure this microphone.
Okay, only fix up on that one?
Well, these, not these?
Well, these microphones go with that speaker.
Okay.
That speaker's what she uses.
Okay.
So, I'm going to, but I'm going to be doing it from the podium. And Melanie's gonna sit up here and call the. Just wasn't sure, Kevin was supposed to be here, I didn't hear from Chris, so.
Well, we still have a quorum.
We still have a quorum.
We have a quorum. So as soon as Mona gets here to record it, start. I
Yes.
saw she waved at in the stairs. Maybe she's coming up the other way. Yeah, okay.
You wanna go have a seat up? So, two members, one I know is supposed to be here.
The north part of it.
I'm actually waiting on the court report. So I'm gonna give her a call.
Yeah, my mother, guy, 100 years by. My,
Sir, what address do you represent? 99 Shirley? Okay.
I need to sign in.
10 miles.
You'll, so on your list, when you add it on your list, make 99 before 412. Because he was not on the agenda. Then it's gonna be up to the board members whether they're gonna.
Just so that you know, we're waiting for a court reporter. Apologies, I thought I saw her in the stairwell, she waved. You know what happened? No problem.
why I'm asking, I just wanted to make sure, so that I'm gonna let him know that he's more than happy to sit, he's not gonna be able to participate in anything.
Like, yeah, if there's a fee assigned, it's one thing if you gotta fill an application. Fees.
Ask for it to be removed. So, okay, like I said, I just wanted to make sure that, before I talk to them.
And we didn't hear back from Kevin or Chris if they were gonna attend, right?
I did not hear from Chris. Mona sent me an email that said Kevin was planning on being. So that's.
It's okay, we still have a forum.
I mean, he may be running a little bit late. But, I mean, his packet's here, Chris is here.
They show up. Pretty low.
All right, so let me go have.
Go do your thing.
Okay, so, because there's an application, the associated with our application. Okay. I had no conversation with this kind of and you may have. They can't get it.
But certainly.
So it is a public meeting, part of the problem is that there's an agenda. They're here for, and everybody that's here is on that agenda. It's up to you, you can certainly speak, but you can speak to any property on the agenda, you just need to do it. You can, you just can't, I mean, the treasurer's office told us. But again, I mean, nobody's I mean, it is what it is. I talked with.
I called him one time, left him with
What I'm saying is that you're not on the agenda. I can't call your.
It was his number. It took a long time. Yeah, and I don't know if I know there was some agent orange.
There was a meeting in.
I was lucky I didn't go to none. I was stationed. There's something we said, you moved all the way over there. I apologize.
This one.
Scratching it off.
Yeah, can't. Might want to scratch it off on yours. I need one of these for Mona.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. My contract. Okay.
And a microphone. Okay,
That's without his name on it.
Without Sterling? Okay. Oh, here, I'll just give her this one.
Well, now I need it, because I gotta read off that one.
Oh, I thought it was. Okay, this is all of them except for one. South Shore.
Or 412.
So you can have that, you can have
oh,
that.
this is mine, okay.
With the exception of 99.
And what's your name?
This is Melanie Bishop.
Okay, great.
Melanie she works in the city.
Oh, I am. Oh, we should probably wait for Mike, right? So really, we have a quorum, is there?
Mona's
Oh,
on
oh,
the,
oh. Let me turn around so I can see them guys. Didn't realize that. Okay.
turn your mic on. I'd like to call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum. Mona Hoffmeister's on the video call. So there's 3 of us here, so we do have a quorum. So with that, let's start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can we, we're going to go in order that people have signed in. When your property is called, please come to the podium. I think the mic is on. State your name and your relationship to the property. Are you an owner? Are you an attorney? Are you a real estate broker? Just so we know who you are. Thank you. Can we go ahead with the first
Okay,
case?
first address is 496 Arthur Street.
Good evening. 496 Arthur Street, property notice was posted and sent certified mail on November 4th, 2022, for the Board of Appeals hearing on November 16th, 2022, which is this evening. This is the second time it's coming before the board. property was fire damaged in September of 2015. The property, the owners have maintained the structure secure. However, there's a bunch of the burned out debris on the east side of the structure that's covered with leaves and brush. All permits have expired and there's no inspections. So my recommendation is demolition.
Oh, wow. And you said this is the second time?
This is the second time it's coming before the Board of Appeals.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I gotta say, hi, I'm the property manager, Nisha Ford, and this is my contractor that has been dealing with everything.
Nisha, what was your last name?
Ford, F-O-R-D.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, I'm Les Brown with Moncure Builders. I just got in touch with Larry. We had an issue with DTE, so we couldn't move forward. We didn't have no power or nothing coming to the building. We finally got that situated because it took them forever. I don't know what debris they talking about because there's no debris. Larry was just out there yesterday with me, and we went over the things. So he just told me to revise the permits and get back started on it since we solved the issue with DTE.
But the permits have expired, is that correct,
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah.
What's your
all permits
plan?
are expired.
What's your
No
plan about the
no
permits?
inspection. This is burned out debris underneath all of this. This is on the east side of the house. Burned out wood. I mean, it's clearly there. I tripped
That's
over
a
it
tree
when I
branch,
walked-
ain't it?
No. It's clear, I tripped over it walking around the house to take pictures.
Okay, well, we'll get that up. It's not a lot of debris like he's trying to say it is. And me and Larry walked through the property yesterday and went over everything. So we got a revised. We revising everything so we can pull the permit. So he just said go on in and pull the permit and get back started on it. So Larry, the city inspector down here.
So what's your game plan? What's the,
The game plan is to go in and clean out, clean everything back out. Everything basically is cleaned out in there. The outside we're gonna clean up since, he said what he said. And we're gonna go in there and we gotta pull a permit for wiring. The plumbing is still good. The roof and everything else has been done. We gotta put windows in and drywall and kitchen cabinets, pretty much. It's not falling apart or nothing like that. It's a solid house.
so is, a question for the administration, is a building permit required here, or is it just electrical and plumbing?
No, building permit is required,
There is one? Okay.
yes. That's why I had Larry come out so we can go over what needs to be situated and what,
Okay,
What's-
so
what's
you're
what?
planning on updating or
Yeah.
applying for that building permit?
Yes.
Along with the electrical permit?
yes.
And you say your plumbing permit is active?
The plumbing is nothing wrong with the plumbing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with the plumbing.
So what kind of time frame are you talking about? I mean,
I say the end of February. I'm saying the end of February, but it might be before that.
to get everything done?
Right. So that's my biggest end of February. That's my basic what I'm looking at.
Can you explain to me why we're back here again after 3-4 months here?
Well, see well,
Of course.
We were here because, the first time that I was here and I was notified, that was in August, when I was before you guys. And then I had already, I talked to you guys, but my contractor, who I paid and who has purchased everything, the material that is needed, he was not aware of that. So I had pulled the
He
building.
was not aware of what?
What was going on, like the time frame or whatever. So when I pulled the building permit, when I talked to you, when I was here last time, I want to make sure I'm saying it right. It was the building permit that Larry had to come out and, tell us everything. What
It was a property maintenance inspection, is that what was
Oh,
done?
okay, that's what it is. I'm sorry. The property maintenance inspection. So when Larry did, the day that I came, the last time in August when I was here, that day I had pulled it. So he had went out the next week to do it. And then when I talked to my contractor had been trying to talk to, call down here. Me and him both, it couldn't get through. Me and him both came down here several times to try to talk to Larry. Dan is the one that I can't speak on what him and Dan, but Dan is the one that got him in contact with Larry, and him and Larry met like twice because he wrote out the thing and he was not agreeing with what Larry had said on it. So they had to meet again and do all this and that. So they did meet, and Larry had no problem. We didn't pull the permit yet because we wanted to talk to you, but Larry did come out and he explained everything to him, what the differences was that they were having with the charred wood and different things like
Yeah,
that.
some of the things that was done to the house before we got the house,
Yeah,
it was done without a permit, but we didn't have nothing to do with that.
the house
You
was
know,
purchased
When
with
did you purchase the house?
2005. It's like the porch. Larry had a problem with the front porch, the front porch of the house, but when the house was purchased, that was on there. We didn't do it, so Larry thought it was done, but it still has to get done, Larry said, but they had to revise everything that he had wrote. So that was the main thing. But I have given him his down payment. The house is in the inside is cleaned out. The roof has been done, everything is secure and everything. Like the debris, that's no problem with us getting the debris. I didn't even see the debris that he's talking about, burnt wood, but that's no problem with getting it done. The house is secure. It's not demo. You know what I'm saying? It would be a waste. I put money into it. I pay my taxes. I've already paid the gentleman. I put, different permits, they expired, but him and Larry talked about everything, so I really can't say that. I'm just speaking on what I've done so far, and I know when I came here in August, that was my first time being here in August, me not knowing, I'm thinking, that we could get through this real quick, not knowing that it was gonna be obstacles and he would be able to talk to, he had to meet up with Larry, but I need my house, I don't want it demoed. My contractor's here, he's been in communication with Larry and Dan, and they've been talking.
Is the property maintenance inspection been issued, the results?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you
that-
have that. So you have the list that needs to be
So-
done.
He gave me, we went over everything yesterday. So now we gotta, I gotta write it out and come submit it so we can pull a permit. And it ain't gonna take no time to put that house back together. It don't need to be demoed. I'm trying to find the pictures of it so you can see.
So you have the means to complete all the work?
Yes. Now I can see if the house was still looking like this.
Well, the pictures we have
Yeah, we have.
from November 4th, so they're
Okay.
current enough.
Okay.
When-
Mona, did you have any questions?
When can you complete the cleanup of the debris that's on the
We'll do it
outside
this
of the building?
weekend.
Okay.
Because if it's debris out there, it's minor.
And how soon can you get the building permits all arranged and
I'll
pulled?
have it before Friday, well, by Friday at least. No later than Monday, because I got other things going on, so it's, I'm trying to take care of everything at the,
All right,
Same
so
time.
today's Monday, you think you can have the permit by Friday?
Yeah.
Wednesday, excuse me.
yeah, most definitely.
I'd like to make a motion that we postpone this property to our next meeting.
I need a second. Mona? A second. Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, there's no opposition, so motion is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Yes.
Next address is 321 Walton Boulevard.
Hello, my name is Sam
Just a
Rico.
minute, Mike, did you want to present this one, please? Yes, go ahead.
321 West Walton?
Yes.
So, okay, property notice was posted and sent certified mail on November 4th, 2022, for the Board of Appeals hearing this evening on November 16th, 2022. This is the first time it's coming before the Board of Appeals. The property was severely fire damaged on 8/4 of 2020. They were requested to submit sealed architectural plans, which we've yet to receive. The detail to remove, for that detail to remove the fire damaged items contained in the attached list, including electrical, mechanical, and plumbing. Plans for the entire building. They were allowed to get started by removing and replacing the damaged portions of the roof to enclose the building, which they did. And here we are now, 2 years later. We've still yet to get the plans to complete the building, so the building is still just sitting there. They are required to have building, electrical, mechanical, and plumbing permits. And the recommendation is going to be demolition if the owners have not submitted and provided to the building department the required architectural plans sealed by a registered design professional, and a completed building permit application by February 15th of 2023, which is the next Board of Appeals meeting.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
My name's Sam Perico. I'm the owner of South Line Auto Wash. The reason why the building is not being finished is the lack of funds. As I spoke at the last board meeting, and I've been trying to get a loan to get the property finished, which is not much to be done. The property is fully maintained, cleaned, roof is repaired, property taxes are up to date, no derbies on the property. So I have told the board that I would have to list the property since I cannot get the funds. And that's where we're at now with the property up for sale.
So it's for sale right now, and you don't have any plans to retain a design professional to do any drawings, is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
So then the issue is we have an unsafe building and you're trying to sell it, so the person that buys it's gonna buy an unsafe building.
What do you mean by unsafe? Everything.
That's why you're here. We don't take hearings on
What is
safe
unsafe?
structures.
What is unsafe about it? The building is secured, the roof is all done.
Correct. The building is now, it's now not open to the elements. The building still does not function as what its primary use was
Okay.
because of the damage, which 2 years ago, you were instructed you needed to get us these plans and fix this.
Exactly, and the lack of funds is what the problem is. So how do I?
There's
go
nothing,
fix
there's
it?
not, there is not one thing in the building code that says if it costs X amount of dollars, or if I can't get a loan for this amount or whatever, that I don't have to do it. It's your building, you are required to maintain it decent, safe, and sanitary.
It is maintained, it is secured, the property's clean, the grass is cut. I don't understand what
It is-
else more you guys
The
want.
building is secured against illegal entry, and the roof is fixed, so it's closed to the elements. It is still not, it doesn't function as the building is supposed to.
Because of the lack of funds.
Well, what damage? I don't see any inside photographs here. What's the status of the interior of the space?
I have not been allowed in the building.
So we haven't
the-
had a
the
property
building
maintenance
is beautiful.
There was an inspection after the fire 2 years ago. But we have not been in the building
Since the fire, so you've had fire repairs on the building?
There was the city building, electric, plumbing, and buildings, electric, plumbing, and whatever building people that you had come in, they came in. I bought the permit, and we started on the roof, and then we ran out of funds, and that's where it stood.
So you haven't
building-
completed the work.
It still needs a little bit more work, but there's lack of funds, but the building is
I
beautiful.
understand that, but a lack of funds is not an argument why a building is not completed.
Well, funds have to be first available for the building to get
I
completed.
understand that, but
So
that's not a
If you don't have
consideration.
funds, you cannot complete the building,
I understand that, and like I said, that's not a consideration.
okay? Well, that's why the building's up for sale now.
Okay, well,
So I don't know what more to do. The building is clean, the roof is fixed, the building is secured, the property is clean, the
but it's
grass
not,
is
the
mowed.
the
taxes
interior
are
areas have
paid up
not
to
been
date.
repaired as per the inspection.
Well, I don't know what else more to tell you guys.
Okay, all right.
The building's up for sale.
Question for the administration, is there something that they can do to the outside of the building to satisfy your concerns while they're going through the sale process?
So the building it is secured. It's not open, exposed to the elements anymore. It's just that they've not submitted to us any plans. Part of it was, we're gonna give you the permit in the beginning, so you can get started on removing the damage while you get us the structural engineering stuff that was asked for, which to date, 2 years later, 2 years plus, we've still yet to receive. And he's absolutely correct. The site is clean. It's not covered with debris. There's not vehicles parked all over it. It's just sitting there.
It just needs the money. That's what it needs. We need the funds to finish it, but I cannot come up with the funds, so that's why I put the property up for sale.
Mona, do you have any questions?
We do kick this down the road to the next meeting?
Keeps kicking.
I know.
And you're saying here, Mike, that the recommendation is to is to hold this for February if the architectural plans will be submitted?
That is correct.
And based on what the owner's saying, that's not
That's not gonna
in the
happen.
cards. It's up for sale, so that's not going to happen.
I do have a interested buyer, so I don't know if it's gonna go through or not, but he's willing to take care of whatever that needs to be done with the city.
Under the circumstances, the outside of the building looks like it's in pretty decent shape. There isn't debris around it. I'd like to make a motion that we postpone this to the next meeting, and at that time, consider whether or not it should be put on the demo list or not. It'll give you a month to sell it, and hopefully something can happen. Or I
Yeah.
should say 3 months. So I make a motion to postpone this to our February 15th meeting.
Okay, thank you. Any additional discussion? I did want to add that if you sell it in that meantime, in that time frame,
Yes,
make sure it's very clear to the owner where this building status is. Because what we want to avoid is having a new owner
yes,
come here in February, not knowing what's going to be done, and now he's going to spend another year or two trying to find an
no,
architect.
he understands,
Trying to find that,
yeah,
because we'll order it down.
yes,
That's been our history.
okay,
We only have so much patience.
okay. You know, like I said, the building is beautiful. You know, I don't see nothing wrong with the building. You know, I've seen buildings in Pontiac with trees growing on top of them, and they're not demolished.
No. Probably because the city doesn't have the funds either. Mike, you want to have a comment?
Yeah, just one more comment. So any property, a property that has a violation order on it cannot be transferred. You can't transfer the title unless the purchaser understands and submits a notarized affidavit that they understand these are what the violations are, and they're going to be responsible
Yes, they
to
understand.
to resolve those issues.
Yes.
Okay. We had the motion to, is there further discussion? The motion to postpone was on the table and seconded. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, next property is 774 Robinwood.
Okay, 774 Robinwood, property notice was posted and sent certified mail November 4, 2022, for the Board of Appeals hearing on November 16th, 2022. This is the fourth time coming before the Board of Appeals. So the property owners have secured the building, so it is not open to illegal entry. The building, all of the permits have been issued. All of them have rough inspections. And what we would ask is that the owners have obtained their certificate of compliance by February 15th, 2023, which is just finishing up the building. They've done a beautiful job. The building looks really nice. And if not, that we would ask that, that there would be a demolition order on it.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, excuse me, Jared Freeman. I'm a employee of the LLC that owns this property. Like he said, we do have several permits that are open right now. We ran into, I was at the last hearing, and I thought we would be 100% complete by this hearing, but we ran into a couple of problems with plumbing contractor, some things that leaked, and we had to do some repairs. So we definitely would be done by the February deadline. We have, like I said, I believe we have a plumbing, a building, and mechanical that have all had rough inspections done on them. So we are close. We've got $100,452 in spending on this property out of an estimated 112,000. So we're very close.
Okay.
And what is your time frame for completion?
We should be done within, I'd say within a month on
Okay.
this, based on what we got here.
I'll make a motion that the property at 774 Robinwood Street be postponed to our next meeting on February 15th, 2023.
Thank you. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to postpone, say aye. Aye. Did I get an aye from you, Mona? Yes. Thank you. Hearing no opposition, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next property address is 401 University.
Good evening, 401 University. Property notice was posted and sent certified mail on November 4th, 2022, for the Board of Appeals hearing this evening on November 16th, 2022. This is the 8th time it's coming before the Board of Appeals. The property owner submitted for an administrative site plan, which was approved November 16th, 2021, with no changes to the site. So currently, the property owners have made no applications for the repairs of the structures required. And two notes, that in the general standards in our zoning ordinance, it requires that this standard is applicable to all accessory structures. A principal building is required. And then as we go farther down for the description of demolition work, unless directed otherwise, the contractor shall completely remove and properly dispose of all structures, trash, rubbish, basement walls, floors, foundations, sidewalks, steps, and driveways from the specified parcel. So what we would ask is that my recommendation would be demolition if the owners have not supplied plans and an application for the repair of both the principal building and the accessory structure by February 15th, 2023 Board of Appeals hearing.
All right, thank you. Your name, sir?
Good evening. My name is Robert Bitchell. I'm the owner of I'm one of the employees of the LLC that owns the building. Finally, we're getting some communication. I just learned after, the city asked me to do certain things, $5,000 here for site plans, $600 here, $400 here, got all that stuff done. I just received the requirements from their inspections. Just received that. Okay.
When did you receive it? Today? Yesterday?
I got it a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Okay. I now have a plan for the building. I'm working with planning to demo the small building and rehab the larger building. I'm going to make it we have plans for it now. Finally, there had been no communication between building and safety, and it was very difficult to communicate with anybody down there that knew anything. So I talked to Larry. He gave me some suggestions, and I talked to planning, and now we can get the ball rolling.
What's your plan on the large building?
It's going to be a real estate office and training center.
Training center?
Training, yep. An
What kind of
investment
training?
center. Investments.
Investment?
Investments. We've been buying, we had over 300 houses here in the city of Pontiac. Never had problems like we had with in these last couple of years.
Well, there's a lot of work to be done on these buildings.
The small building's coming down. The big building is actually brand new inside. It's brand new. It was built and never used. It was all approved, but I know that I have to get new permits for everything in there. But small building's coming down.
And like I said before, the foundations have to be looked at. Like, I want to make sure that they're
Got
looked at.
architects and engineers handling that. Can't get any concrete right now. But I couldn't do anything to that building without doing something to the small building, which we all just realized in the last 2 meetings.
So do you have a timeline of when you,
Well, my
Plan to
plan,
do things?
yes. I talked to planning yesterday. My plan is to have this small building raised or demoed by, within the next month. So I've communicated with Edison and consumers and the water department, called them and waiting on a response from the water department. But I want to get it down before the weather changes. I'm not interested in keeping the small building. But when I spent $5,000, because I was told I had to have a site plan of what was there, I had it done for what was there, not what the use was going to be.
So you've retained an architect?
Yes.
And when do you think the city will be seeing
So I'll be communicating with
plans
the
for the
city
training center?
going forward here every, weekly. I mean, I'm in here every day.
I understand that. My question is, when do you think the city will see drawings from the architect?
Well, I talked to the architect all week. I don't think it was going to take them very long to have the drawings.
Did you
The
ask him how
engineer-
long?
The engineering department, the part of the department is, I think it's going to take a little time. But I think within a week or so, the drawings will be ready. But the engineering part, because there's elevations that are required, I don't think they've changed. I don't think,
Well, they still need a survey.
yeah, well, the survey was just done.
Okay.
That's part of what I had done a year ago. So, but I think it'll be, like I said, I'll have that small building down. I want to get it down as soon as possible.
So here's the dilemma that we have. Based upon the ordinance, based upon Oakland County,
Right.
the small building is the principal building. Our ordinance says if we give him a permit for the principal building, they have to remove, and this is directly from the building code, in the municipal code, completely remove and properly dispose of all structures, trash, rubbish, basement walls, floors, foundations, and sidewalks. I mean, what he's asking us for is in Oakland
Very-
County, and
Let me
Oakland
speak.
County says that this is a shed equipment storage building,
The small one.
the big one.
Oh, the big one.
The one he wants to keep, according to Oakland County, is a storage building.
It was designed to replace the small building. It was designed to replace, it has rooms in it, it has a kitchen, everything to be a principal building. The plans that Dan Colby asked me for and told me to present to them, he told me to present the plan with that existing structure on. The city had a plan from the year 2000 with that building being removed that I didn't have access to. If I'd known that, I wouldn't have spent $5,000 to have a site plan on a building, on a site. And
How long have you owned the building?
I just bought it during the pandemic, from the
What year, when and,
December 2020. And, you know, and so, so I communicated, you know, did everything that the building and safety asked me to do. Team inspection, $600 for the something, $400 for the, you know, team inspection.
Were you told that you needed a site plan approval?
Yes,
Have you received
I
that?
paid for that. That's the $600.
Have you received
No, I have
approval,
not
though?
received any of that.
Have you submitted plans for
I
it?
submitted plans, and that's
when did you submit the plan?
October 2021.
Oh, you were granted the approval in 2021.
I know nothing about
With
that.
both
till
buildings
2
on
weeks
it.
ago. So 2 weeks ago.
Did you not attend the hearing for site plan approval?
No.
Huh?
No.
Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Larry felt the same way. And see, and this is why I come in here so frustrated.
I guess your intention is to keep the large building, demolish the small building. Do you have even a concept approval for what you're proposing to
Yes,
do with
so-
the large building? Is it allowed? Is it acceptable to the city to do that?
So what I'm working with planning is to get a variance to demo the building so we can separate.
Now, do you need a variance to,
Separate, so to keep the larger building and demo the small. This has all been,
but you're proposing, the larger building, your proposal is not, for it not to be a storage building, it's going to be an office building.
And you say you don't have drawings yet?
no, I don't have the drawings yet because we were trying to, one of the other biggest problems, larger problems was that I hadn't decided what the use was gonna be.
So you've decided what the use is going to
Yes.
be now, correct?
Yes.
So
I've
I
lived here in the
guess,
city, worked here 40 years.
I guess I'm struggling here to understand. It seems like the process would be that you submit for approval of what you're proposing to do, leave the small building there until you get approval for doing that, and then you would be able to go forward and remove that because there is an approval for that to be switched from a storage building to an office building. Is there a need that you have to take that small building down now before you get approval for the site plan?
I think the area would be a lot cleaner without it.
Well, I'm not saying what you like. What I'm
just
looking
makes
at is
sense.
that there's an ordinance requirement here, and the progress is questionable. And I understand why the city is requesting that building not be demolished, because they don't want to have a storage building, the only building on there, sitting in here 2 years down the road.
Well, it's not going to be I think my history here, well, I'm not going to worry about that. Listen, I was told that's what I need to do. I was told I got to work with planning to get a variance. I'm working with them. I talked to them yesterday to get a variance. And after I get the variance, I'll move forward on that.
Okay.
Well, the variance is only one part of the site plan approval. You have to also get site plan approval for the principal use of the large building. That includes floor plans, the parking layouts, all the above. And that's going to take more than a week.
That, they already have those plans for that building. On that particular site plan, it had on there, this is to be demolished.
Okay, I'm not talking about the demo. I'm talking about the site plan for the whole development.
The site plan for the whole development, the drawings, the old drawings are there that I submitted last year. It included how many parking spaces. The only problems they had was putting up some trees. That was done during a conversation. There was no meeting held that I attended.
So I still don't understand why we're still here then, if that was approved last year.
Because you guys and me alike just discovered 6 months ago when we found out that was an accessory building. Well, that's the first time we had heard about it in here.
Well, if you had done your due diligence
Well,
from
yeah,
Oakland
it's-
County,
all this stuff that said-
I'm just saying, it is what it is.
It is.
And according to Oakland County, you purchased the building in '21. This started through the process in the hearing officer in October of '20.
Okay, January 21.
Yeah.
I got approved through the courts in December 2020. It was recorded, January 21.
I'd like to make a motion that the property at 401 University be postponed to our next meeting with the understanding if there are not plans and application submitted by that time, it will be considered for demolition.
Thank you.
I need a second? I'll second. Any additional discussion? I'd just like to add, I recall our last discussion here, and I wasn't pleased with the discussion. I'll tell you that if we don't see real progress by our next meeting, you'll know what my vote will be.
You know, I don't like threats.
That's not a threat. I'm just stating my
Okay.
position.
Have a good day.
Did we take a vote? I'm sorry, I got lost
I don't
track.
think we did. No.
Pardon?
No, we did.
Okay, all in favor of the motion to postpone as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, all in favor? No opposed? Thank you.
Next property address is 130 Chippewa.
Good evening, 130 Chippewa. Property notice was posted and sent certified mail November 4th, 2022 for the Board of Appeals hearing on November 16th, 2022. This is the third time it's coming before the Board of Appeals. The property is certainly much cleaner today than it was a few months ago. It definitely looks much better. However, the property owners, upon decided to demolish the garage. They've made no applications to us, understanding that this is in the historic district, so it would have had to have HDC approval for that, which they didn't get. They just did it. It says violation of the ordinance. They've made no attempts to contact anybody in the building department as to what their next steps are or anything else. The recommendation from this inspector is demolition.
Go ahead, sir.
My name is Mike Oddish. I'm a member of the LLC that owns it. This property was just bought in end of August, so we never had a notice or anything before that. This is the first time that I'm in front of it. The garage, we didn't knock it down. It fell down. The garage was leaning, and I came one morning after that storm, big storm, it was all on the floor, so I had it discarded
So the garage fell down on its own.
by itself, yes. It was leaning. I really didn't want it down because it's going to cost me $25,000 to put another one in there.
What are your plans for the building?
Plans there is to clean it up and live in it. That's what my plans are. It doesn't need much.
So you've bought it for yourself to?
Sure. I bought it I like the area. It needs just a lot of TLC. That's all.
Well,
The structure is good. The painting on the outside is the wood is all good. The painting is peeling, and right now I can't do nothing because of the weather. I had some of my helpers caulking and trying to maintain it, and somebody came and threw them off of there. I don't know who it was. He said it's somebody from the city.
has the property had a property maintenance inspection? No. Well, that's your first step.
I don't know anything about that. That's the first
Well,
time I've done anything in Pontiac.
You have to call the city and set up excuse me, a property maintenance inspection. The city has to come out, inspect the building, and then give you the results of what needs to be repaired.
That's fine. And who do I talk to that?
Like right there.
Okay.
Can you
The
do
building
that soon?
department tomorrow morning.
All right.
All right, I'll make a motion that we postpone the property at 130 Chippewa Road to our next meeting on February 15th.
Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to postpone, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next property address is 771 St. Clair.
$771 St. Clair. Property was posted and sent certified mail November 4th, 2022, for the Board of Appeals hearing on November 16th, 2022. This is the third time coming before the Board of Appeals. So property owners have secured the building. The site looks so much better than it did originally. So the owners, all of their permits have rough inspections, and my recommendation is we postpone this until the February 15th, 2023 hearing, and hopefully we'll get that much closer to it being completed and a CFC issued.
You said that the rough inspections have been approved?
Completed, yep.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, please.
Hello, it's Rosalba Gaitan Mendoza.
I'm sorry, your name?
Rosalba Gaitan Mendoza, and it's my first time here.
Are you the owner of the property?
Yes, I'm the owner of the property.
Go ahead,
And
please.
We did have our first maintenance inspection, and we got the permits for the building, and then we also got the roof done. And I sent some pictures over through the email.
And when do you think you can be done with, what work has to be done on the interior?
Well, I want to finish soon, like as soon as possible. I
Finish
don't
what?
have the whole building, but I don't have a deadline yet.
Okay.
But my plan is to fix the kitchen, the bathroom, and yes.
Have you obtained all the permits yet, or?
I only have the building one, which
Just building.
first I got the roof done, which was not that long ago. So I wanted to do that before I did anything else because I didn't want my house to leak and then have to redo it all over again.
That's good, good plan.
And you're gonna live in the house when it's
Yes,
done?
I'm gonna live there.
Where do you think you might be by our next meeting in February?
I would. Oh, I just want to like do as much as I can by next meeting.
Okay. So you don't know that you'll be completed by then?
Yeah, I'm not sure yet,
Okay,
but that's my goal.
okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we postpone the property at 771 St. Clair Street to our next meeting on February 15th.
Okay.
Any additional discussion? All in favor of the motion postpone, say aye. Aye. Hearing no opposition, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next property is 99 South Shirley.
Okay, 99 South Shirley. Property notice was posted and sent certified mail November 4th, 2022 for the Board of Appeals hearing on November 16th, 2022. This is the first time coming before the Board of Appeals. Upon my inspection of the property is being rented out. The property has been severely neglected for quite a while. There are broken windows everywhere, boards. Part of the front porch one of the posts holding up the corner of the front porch has fallen. It is in desperate need of repairs. Nobody should be living in that house based upon the condition. My recommendation is demolition.
And you say that somebody is living in the house?
Correct.
Go ahead, please.
I'm Marcus Webb. I'm the one of the co-owners of the house. Do I just speak?
Yes, please.
Oh, sure. The house not being rented out, that's incorrect. I don't know where he got that from, but that's not what's been going on. As well as, it's true though, the house does need some repairs. We haven't been notified about anything from the city. It's our first time even hearing something wrong with the house. But that storm did come through and it messed up a lot of things. The house was my father's house. He had passed away, so I'm newly taking over things and fixing things up and rehabbing it as well. So just need to, I came down to try to talk to the city and ask them what can we do or get an inspection like y'all been saying, but I never got called back. I came multiple times, left my email, talked to the secretary, called, still no word from the wife. I talked to him a few days ago and he reached out and said I couldn't get a permit till we came to here, so here we are, just now finding out everything. So hopefully we can resolve this issue and get stuff fixed up so the city can look good.
And Mr. Wilson, has there been any property maintenance inspection done on this property yet?
There's been nothing done on this property.
So that would be the first step to get a property
That would be
maintenance
correct.
inspection?
When I put the placards on the front door, the tenant came out and asked me what I was doing.
Yeah.
I said, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be in this house. I'm renting the house. Her words, not mine. I don't know what's going on. All I can say is when I placarded it, she came out and talked to me. She says, oh, I'm so glad you're here. They will not repair anything on this house. Again, her words, not mine. I'm just here based on the condition of the property, all the way around, the debris in the backyard.
Yeah.
It needs to be demolished.
Yeah. I can see from the photos, there's a lot of debris.
Yes, I agree. It's a lot of debris. It is. It do need to be worked. Like I said,
And
was
there's
unaware.
also a column, excuse me, a column missing on the corner of the building. That's a
Yes.
structural column. You understand the repercussions that that porch could collapse?
Yes, I understand.
What's your plan to fix that?
If the city communicate with us and let us know, we can get a work permit so we can get the stuff fixed, because I would believe that falls under a major building repair, I would believe. So we can't just fix that unless we get approval from the city, which I tried to do and reach out, but.
So you have to have a property maintenance inspection in order to do that.
Again, I reached out to the city to get that as well, just to see what steps are. It's a bad communication channel. It's hard to get in contact with somebody down there. As well as, I don't know his conversation, who he talked with, or but you see some white guy come to your door and put a note on it, of course you're gonna tell him. I don't know who he spoke with, but I can't validate how true that conversation was or not.
So is somebody living in the house?
Yes, my dad let somebody stay in there. Yes, we let him stay in there, for sure.
So we don't have any knowledge of the inside of the house. What condition is it?
That is correct. That's why we would want the property maintenance inspection to identify what those other violations may or may not exist. And yes, I did talk with Mr. Webb, called me on Monday. The hearing's on Wednesday. I want to come in and get a permit. Well, you have to wait until after the hearing.
Yes, that's true. But I've been contacted the city, and I came down here in person, hopped down here for sure.
And do you have the ability to fix up this house
Absolutely,
financially?
absolutely.
I noticed you're on crutches. Apologize about
I work
that.
for the school district as well, too. I'm employed.
So
So we-
obviously you're going to need some help doing that work.
You see this big guy next to me? We're fine.
Yeah.
Just tell me when what you need me to do, and I'll come
Well,
down here and do it.
sounds like the first thing to do is contact the city, call for a property maintenance inspection, and then they will come out, inspect the building, and give you a list of items of corrections.
Okay.
And then from there, proceed with getting the permits in order to do that work.
Okay. Is it the same place downstairs that I've been
At
before?
the building department.
Okay. All right.
Any comments, Mona? Scott?
Nope, I'll make a motion that we postpone the property at 99 South Shirley Street to our February 15th meeting.
Mona, can I get a second, please?
Yeah, I'm blown away by these pictures. Sorry.
No, that's not. Okay. Any additional discussion? I just wanted to say, I'm concerned about the structural capacity on that porch. I'm very concerned about that. So please, get down there tomorrow morning, get it inspected, and get that porch shored up. It's a dangerous situation.
Absolutely. I got somebody ready to fix it, but like I said, we got to get the permit first.
All right.
before we-
Again, any additional discussion? All in favor of the motion for postponement, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, hearing no opposition, motion passes.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
Can we have the name of the tenant?
Could you give the name of the tenant, please?
What's the name? Don't know his real name, his nickname. I don't have a real name for you, so I don't want to lie to you on record.
Okay.
I don't know his real name.
Okay, next, please.
All right, last one on sign-in is 33 Matthews.
Good evening. I'm
Just
here.
a minute, Mike needs to present the case first.
Okay.
Could I get your name? Go ahead.
Salvador Garcia.
And your name?
And Jonathan Garcia.
All right, good evening. This is 33 Matthews. It was posted on November 4th and sent certified mail on November 4th for the Board of Appeals hearing this evening on November 16th. This is, I'm glad everybody's sitting down. This is the 14th time
Gee.
it's coming in front of the Board of Appeals. They have secured the building, and the building actually, the building actually looks nice. My recommendation, and now we have now 3 months. My recommendation is demolition if the owners have not obtained a certificate of compliance by the next meeting, hearing date of February 15th, 2023. All they have to do is have final inspections.
Okay, so they just need final inspections.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Good evening. So, yeah, we were trying to get at least for the inspections, the walls, the drywall, plumbing, and mechanical done by now. But we never thought it was going to be so much money. We are over probably 50,000 on materials and labor right now, only with the plumbing and mechanical, which is what we are working right now. Plumbing is ready for, we have one inspection. We need one more inspection
So plumbing is ready for final?
for final, and there was only a few things that we needed to change. And on the mechanical, we are probably 90% done on the mechanical. We are almost ready for an inspection, and after that, we will be ready for insulation and drywall.
What about electrical?
I think we only need one more inspections after we put the drywall, just to be sure.
So all you need is the final on the electrical?
I think the only thing, the inspector for the electrical, it was that we need to change the pipe on the where the main power goes into the house. Just that, I think it has like a bend, and it needs to be straight. Besides that, everything was fine inside. And yeah, it's just, we never thought it was going to take so much money to fix it. Like I said, we are over 15,000 only with the plumbing and the mechanical right now.
I noticed 2 electrical meters on the back of the house. Is this a duplex or is it single?
We changed it to single, but what we have been told is that until all inspections pass, is we can change it to single home.
Okay, so this would be a single-family residence. And will you live in it, or are you going to rent it out?
We're going to live in it.
You're going to live in it?
Yes.
So it sounds like, by what you're saying, there's some financial concerns. Do you have the financial means to complete the project, or what is your plan?
No, we can get it done. Just, besides, we're trying to do a lot of the work, but just between our work and the time to put into the house, it has been kind of hard, but it's a big house. It has 5 rooms, and we also did an additional 2 bathrooms in the house. So it's a lot of things we are making better and bigger, and,
Good.
and it's taking a lot of more money. But no, we can get it done.
Can you get it completed by February 15th of 2023, next year? That's 3 months.
Almost done. I can't be 100% sure, but like inside, we are going to be, a lot of things are going to be done inside. Because, besides that, there is also little things like we want to sand, like the first floor, we want to sand the floors to leave them original. Second floor, we are redoing the second floor with new floors. So there will be a lot more things to get done, but most of it is going to be done once we get the plumbing passed and mechanical. We can put all the drywall, and then it's going to be a big difference on the inside.
And I'd like to make a motion that we postpone the property at 33 North, or 33 Matthew Street to our February 15th meeting.
I need a second, Mona? Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to postpone, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Good evening. 148 Ottawa, property notice was posted and sent certified mail November 4th, 2022, for the Board of Appeals hearing on November 16th, 2022. This is the first time it's coming to the Board of Appeals. The previous property owner was allowed to keep the garage when the house was demolished from a fire because he was going to reconstruct the home. Subsequently, the owner took whatever insurance proceeds he had, walked away, the county ended up with it. The garage still has to come down. And that's all part of, you can't have the accessory structure without the principal building. And then on top of that, the owner was supposed to remove the garage if he wasn't going to construct. And again, he just took the money and ran. My recommendation is demolition. If plans are not received for construction of a new single-family dwelling, meeting all of the HDC requirements by the February 15th, 2023 hearing date.
Yes, please, go ahead. Your name?
Alexandria Riley. Good
And
evening.
what relationship are you to the property?
I am the new owner, so let me clarify that. I am the new owner of the parcel. I acquired the parcel through the Oakland County tax sale just recently.
A month ago, 2 weeks ago? What's recent?
The tax sale, I believe, was in the end of August, maybe. The deed was not mailed to me until September, the end of September.
So according to Oakland County, she purchased it August 30th. That's when she purchased it. Now, when she received the deed, I can't answer that because the county is a little slow.
Be a month or so later, so. Okay, what, can you tell us about your plans?
So as of right now, the property was an eyesore within the neighborhood. I won't say the property itself. The structure is sound. The structure is a historic structure, the accessory building itself. Obviously, about 3 years ago, there was a fire, and unfortunately, the principal dwelling had to be demolished as a result. It was a beautiful property in a historic district that's recognized as a historic designation. As for the garage itself and the maintenance and the upkeep of the property, I reside across the street, directly across the street. And so the neighbors took with the efforts to cut the grass and to maintain the parcel as it was an eyesore throughout the period that I believe the county had acquired it through tax foreclosure. So again, I recently purchased it through the tax sale. As of now, my plans are to maintain the property, to keep it up. I would like to build on it. And so this being I came to the city earlier this week to just kind of go over in terms of the matter before you here today, and also citing the ordinance for the recommendation before you. So at this point, I would, in part, agree with Mr. Wilson as far as requesting for the postponement to give adequate time for me to do proper due diligence and also seek a positive resolution in the end.
Are you proposing to build a house? I didn't get a
So
strong
that-
feeling there.
That would be the ultimate intention, but as of right now, to be completely honest with you, there are no, steps moving forward as far as plans for that, so. But the purchase, the intent of the purchase was for that, also looking at if there was a non-conforming use with it being a historic structure, accessory building to avoid it. To my understanding, the city did the emergency demolition of the principal structure. When the county marketed the property for sale, it marketed it with the accessory building. The city did not consider it, I guess, to be a dangerous building at that time. They did not tear down the garage. So the garage was left standing. It's been there in existence since the fire for the past 3 years. So provided that I'm the new owner of the property, I would request humbly that I would be granted and afforded the opportunity.
Mike, was the house a historic state structure, local
It was in the Franklin,
district?
the Franklin Historic District.
Okay.
And it was a very beautiful house, 3 stories, ballroom in the basement. I mean, it was a beautiful house. And unfortunately, from the fire, it just decimated the entire structure.
Okay, thank you. So I guess I'm wrestling with, you're asking us to postpone it until you can find finances, what are you gonna do with the property?
No, I think based on it being in the historic district and the requirements that would be set forth to rebuild, obviously, considerations for construction costs right now, I don't think it would be practical for me to do that at the present. So again, my request is to allow for postponement. This is my first time appearing. This is the first time that this matter has even come before this body. And so I'm asking for postponement in the interim.
Do you have the means and ability to maintain the property in a proper manner so that there's no blight or anything?
I'm hard of hearing.
Do you have the ability to maintain the property so there's no blight or
Absolutely.
grass
Yeah,
growing?
and I would say that, I don't know if you went out, Mike, and did the posting, but the yard has been cleaned up significantly. And
So the only problem with the property is the accessory structure without the principal use.
Right.
And if you look at some of the photos, I do have a little bit of concern about the driveway at the garage door.
Yes.
There's something going on, and I'm just not sure what that is. But I wanted to afford Ms. Riley the opportunity to at least propose putting something on there that meets the historic district standards, as opposed to just ripping the garage down, as we did, as we afforded that to the original owner when the house came down. We took the house down. We had no choice. We took the house down. The insurance company paid the contractor for taking it down. The owner did make a proposal to put something there, but it did not meet any,
Historical
didn't even
standard.
come close to meeting any historic standards. And then he just kind of walked away.
How did you purchase the property? From the
How?
county?
Through the county, Oakland County tax sale.
I guess I'm a little torn on what to do here because I don't see any resolution coming down the road based on what you're telling us. It seems like we will be sitting here at the next meeting and you'll be telling us the same thing, that the time isn't right or you don't have the means to build a house. And so I don't have a problem postponing it, but I'm concerned that I don't see any resolution coming here.
Well, the matter coming before this body would be, obviously, with that being a historic structure, the structure is in good shape. If it had to be brought before, and again, as far as doing the adequate due diligence in terms of the ordinance and seeing that, it would be a huge disservice to the community, to the tax base, if that structure did in fact get ordered down. So to recognize the historical significance of the structure, the additions that's making to the neighborhood, the property is obviously secure. And so the only issue before the matter before the board right now is the fact that it's an accessory structure. It's not a dangerous building. And I believe, I did request when I came in on Monday for documentation in terms of what citations, what violations were accrued. And so, to my knowledge, and just because I did not, I don't have a receipt of it. I know Jack indicated that he had sent a correspondence out. I don't have it. So just so I'm clear, is it confirmed that the only issue is the accessory building and it doesn't conform to the ordinance of having that structure there without a principal?
So on the building side, the short answer is yes.
Okay.
On the code enforcement side, I don't know. I would have to look at what the code enforcement records indicate.
Right, and I think, is it before this body for being, because the notice that was posted on the property said dangerous building. So it did not
So
cite
it
the
is
ordinance.
a dangerous building.
And it did.
It doesn't
so-
meet the intent, it does not meet the intent of the code. It's a dangerous building.
Okay.
I mean, that's where we're at.
Do you believe that by our next meeting, that you might have a proposed structure to build on the site?
I would not fully commit to that. The next meeting is in February.
February.
But I think that I would have a more concrete plan at that point that I could bring before the board. So provided the previous owner had 3 years, of which, to be honest with you, I received the notice that the property needed to come down before I actually acquired the deed to the property. So I'm before the board. I'm here today to request for the additional time to allow me to conduct due diligence in the process of it and see what options can be afforded or available to me as the new owner.
I'd like to make a motion that the property at 148 Ottawa Drive be postponed to our next meeting based on the understanding that the owner is going to work on a plan, a future plan for the property.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to postpone, say aye. Aye. Okay, thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you all.
We'll see you in February.
Next property is 404 Highland.
All right, good evening, 404 Highland. Property notice was posted and sent certified mail November 4th, 2022 for the Board of Appeals hearing on November 16th, 2022. This is the first time coming before the Board of Appeals. The building permit, there was a building permit issued for this May 22nd of 2020. This is here because it was, the permit was suspended in 2020 after construction started because the plans were deficient. And we've been waiting 2 years patiently for a plot plan that indicates the location of the driveway and the elevations of the existing lot and the proposed lot and the house setbacks. And 2 years. 2 years we've been waiting. It went to the hearing officer last month. He ordered that a plot plan was to be received by October 28th, 2022. If not, it was moving along to the Board of Appeals. It was sent on October 31st, 2022. So that's why we're here today. It does not, as we can look at these pictures, in the ordinance, it is very clear, aesthetic quality. One family and two family dwellings shall be aesthetically compatible in design and appearance to conventionally constructed homes in the surrounding neighborhood. To that end, each dwelling shall be similar in appearance and conventionally constructed homes typically found in the surrounding neighborhood and/or this zoning district in at least the following respects: massing and related roof lines of the building, arrangement of windows and doors, steps and/or porches, which provide access to the exterior doors, color and texture of siding material, roof pitches. Again, 2 years, we finally received the plot plan. The permit was issued in error. The owner clearly knows it was issued in error. The design doesn't meet the design standards. The recommendation from the inspector is demolition.
Could I get a clarification, please? Again, this is 440 Highland?
404 Highland.
404 Island. This appears to be a commercial structure.
That is affirmative.
So we're here because the commercial structure is a dangerous structure and needs to be taken down in order for a single-family home to be built? I'm trying to understand.
So we're here today because the owners in 2020, we suspended the permit waiting for, simply, we wanted the foundation plan that was not submitted on the original document.
For a single-family home?
This is supposed to be a single-family home.
Why is there a commercial structure on this building?
This
on the
is
site?
This is supposed to be a single-family home. This is what the planning department approved.
But it at the time they approved it, there's a commercial building. I'm assuming it's a commercial building on the property.
That's what it appears to be, correct. That is what the planning department approved. The building inspector reviewed the plans, and because planning signed off on it, even though it needed to go to the zoning board of appeals for a variance, he issued the permit. When I found out that the permit was issued, I suspended the permit, reviewed the plans myself, and said, well, wait a minute, where's the foundation plan? You can't have a 24-inch foundation on this pole barn building that's supposed to be a house.
Okay, so this is actually the house? This is
That
the
is
house?
that is correct, the house and the garage.
All right.
The owner also deviated from the approved plans by installing a garage door on the rear.
So we're, this elevation that we're looking at, that's the rear or the front?
Is it one door or two?
Two doors.
That's the front.
So this is the front of the house? This
Correct.
is a single-family home?
It's a single-family home. Allegedly, it's a single-family home and an attached garage.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. I am not the owner. I am a concerned citizen of the
That's
community.
what you are?
My name is Willie Holloman III. Willie Holloman? Listen. Willie? Oh, Holloman. Listen. Holloman. Holloman III.
Okay, W-I-L-L-I-D?
That's right.
And you are a concerned citizen, you're a neighbor, or?
I live in the community.
Thank you.
My grandparents still live in that community. My parents live in that community. And, I pass by that structure all the time. I saw the notices on the door, and I just came here to find out what's going on with the building. And I would hate to see it demolished. I would like to see it improved. And I didn't know if it was abandoned or anything. I didn't know what was going on with it, because for a very long time, it doesn't look like anything has been going on with it. And
Thank you, that's what we're trying to find out.
yeah, and it looks like it's becoming quite an eyesore. I didn't have any knowledge about all the things that need to be done with it, but if it had came down to it, and if it was going to be demolished because someone just kind of left it there, I didn't know all the things that were involved in it. And I would probably try to step in and try to see if I can get with the owner or something like that to make the necessary changes to improve it, maybe.
And the owners, as I see it, is this Pontiac Highland Avenue LLC? That's the owner?
That is correct, at 404 Highland.
And nobody's here representing this property?
No, notice was mailed, it was posted on the building and mailed to the owner, correct. Certified mail.
And the structure that's there now, there was a drawing submitted, but this structure does not reflect the drawings that were submitted?
No, what is built here is what they submitted, but in reverse form. So it wasn't whatever they submitted, they just reversed it and
Is it opposite
constructed
hand
it.
or front to back?
No, just side to side.
So opposite hand?
Yep.
Mirror image?
So, but they didn't submit, any changes they've made, they've never submitted to us. They've just done it, like it's no big deal. The house does not even sit, it doesn't even sit square on the lot. When you're looking at it, the southeast corner of the building encroaches on the front setback.
So when you said that this permit was originally issued, then it's been revoked?
It wasn't revoked, it was suspended.
Suspended, okay.
Waiting on the revised plans and a plot plan
Okay.
that we should have had in the beginning.
What was approved originally, was it a residential structure, a house?
What you see there is supposedly it's a 1,200 square foot residential structure with a 2,400 square foot attached garage. And there currently, you see, if you look at the pictures, you see the vehicles that are being stored on the site. There's also a vehicle that's missing the entire front clip inside the garage.
Somebody's trying to pull something.
Yeah, something's going on here. I'd like to make a motion that the property at 404 Highland Avenue be placed on the demo list.
Any additional discussion? All in favor of the motion for demo, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Motion passes. Okay. Oh, that's it? You're not here on a property? Oh. Hi.
Aye. Oh,
Yes, thank you.
good. It's a pleasure meeting you both.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm Ben Tissio. I'm an architect. I've been Mona and I and Kevin have been here for 10 years now, plus, right? Since the beginning.
That's the beginning.
Not the beginning of time, but the beginning of this board. Thank you. All right, so are we getting? We're done with the public hearing portion, that there's no more audience participation, so we can go down the list.
Yes.
And are you going to present, I think Dwight, 94 Dwight is the next one? Mike, you can
tell
call.
me how you
Mike can
wanna-
do it.
Yes, you've got the list, so just go off the list, please.
Well, you know, the agenda that I had that somebody,
Sold?
so what's the next address? 90, all right, 94 Dwight. So this property notice was posted and sent certified mail November 4th, 2022, for the Board of Appeals hearing on November 16th, 2022. This is the 7th time coming before the board. The property owners have not secured the building. They, however, have secured the fence. So if you climb over the fence, you have free reign to the building. Just saying. My recommendation is demolition if the revised plans for the construction of this is not provided before, by the February 15th, 2023 Board of Appeals hearing.
Is there a motion to that effect, please? Okay, I can't make a motion, Mona. Are you making the motion, please? Yes, please.
Second?
Okay, thank you. Just a point of clarification, the chair of the committee can't make a motion. That's why I said that. Thank you. Any additional discussion? All in favor of the motion for demo, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Motion passes.
.233 South Edis. This property was, notice was posted and sent certified mail November 4th, 2022, for the Board of Appeals hearing on November 16th, 2022. This is the 4th time coming before the Board of Appeals. The owners have made no progress in the rehabilitation of this property. There's debris in the rear yard. It's the same debris in the rear yard as the May meeting, if you look at the pictures. It's just crazy. They did have, they had a property maintenance inspection October 4th of 21, which identified they needed all permits, and that it was a comprehensive rehab. My recommendation is demolition.
I'd like to make a motion that the property at 233 South Edith Street remain on the demo list.
Thank you. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion for demo, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Motion passes.
Excuse me. Good evening. Property notice was posted and sent certified mail November 4th, 2022, for the Board of Appeals hearing on November 16th, 2022. This is the 5th time coming before the board. So the property owner has completed the outside work with the exception of the trim around some of the windows. We have not yet been able to get inside the house to do the property maintenance inspection. My recommendation would be if by the hearing on February 15th of 23, that we would have the order of demolition of the structure.
Nobody made a
Nobody
motion.
made a motion yet, Mona. Is this the one that
This is Mr. Savage, who
Yeah.
owns 406 and 412.
Yeah, okay.
All right, it is the same one.
This is, yes.
And he's not here tonight, nor is his
Nor is
sister?
his representative, his sister, correct.
Sister and was it daughter or niece?
Niece.
Okay. But progress has been made?
So all of the exterior work on that house has been completed, with the exception of some trim around, I think, one of the windows.
And I see a berm on.
And then,
Pile
yeah,
of
and then I
dirt.
get there and there's this pile of dirt in the front yard.
I'll make a motion that the property at 406 Lynch Avenue be postponed to our next meeting.
Any additional discussion? All in favor of the motions, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
601 North Perry, property notice was posted and sent certified mail November 2nd, 2022, for the Board of Appeals hearing on November 16th, 2022. This is the 12th time it's come before the Board of Appeals. I'm a little confused about this one. As I went there and looked around, my concern is all he needs is final building inspections. Part of the problem is if you look at the pictures, he's not completed any of the exterior repairs. There's certainly some structural sill plates that are very questionable. It looks like they're going to be covering up. And then there's some of the piers that look like part of them have fallen down. And like I said, I'm just a little concerned. My recommendation is if the owner doesn't have a CFC by February 15th of 2023, that it will be placed on the demolition list.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilson, has there been any progress on this since our last meeting?
All of the other permits are finalized out except for building.
Okay.
It just seems like it's just not making any headway. That's why I figured if we gave him until to have the CFC by the February hearing, if not, it just goes right on the demolition list and we can deal with that later.
I'll make a motion that the property at 601 North Perry Street be postponed to our next meeting.
Thank you. All in favor of the motion to postpone, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
Good evening, 19 Tacoma. Property notice was posted and sent certified mail November 4th, 2022 for the Board of Appeals hearing on November 16th, 2022. This is the third time coming before the Board of Appeals. So the property owners have done a really good job of securing the structure and removing all of the debris. You can actually see part of the house. They do have permits. They don't have all of their permits, but they do have some of their permits, and they're making headway fixing the exterior. And if you look at the pictures, you'll see the difference in night and day from the way it was before. It was a hoarder's house, and now you can actually see the back porch. You can see, you can get around the house.
Those got a tiny front yard. Wow.
Yes. So my recommendation is that they obtain all the rest of the permits and rough inspections by February 15th, 2023.
I'll make the motion that the property at 19 Tacoma Court be postponed to our next meeting.
Now you can make a second, Mona. Thank you. Any additional discussion? All in favor of the motion postponed, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Hearing no opposition, motion passes. Thank you.
I knew you were going to do that. 103 Union. Property notice was posted and sent certified mail November 4th, 2022 for the Board of Appeals hearing November 16th, 2022. This is the first time coming before the Board of Appeals. The building is secure against illegal entry at this time. The owners own the building next door to it that's open to trespass. But it's clearly, as you can look at the pictures, it's clearly an attractive nuisance. There's debris all over the place. There was a homeless encampment with tents and all on this site until the sheriff's department chased them away. It's just, I mean, the site just, I mean, is a very attractive nuisance. There's liquor bottles and beer bottles and cans and stuff all over the site. The recommendation is demolition.
I just wanted to say that I find the phrase attractive nuisance a little contradictory. But I understand the intent.
I'd like to make a motion that the property at 103 Union Street be placed on the demo list.
Thank you. Any additional discussion? All in favor of the motion for demo, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Motion passes.
89, Ruth?
This is 86, Ruth.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, it's 89, I'm dyslexic.
89 on here.
Oh,
It's
okay.
89. Sorry, it's 89, Ruth. Property notice was posted and sent certified mail November 4th, 2022 for the Board of Appeals hearing on November 16th, 2022. This is the first time coming before the Board of Appeals. Property has been neglected and not maintained. A portion of the structure in back is collapsing. No permits have been requested or issued. It is clearly manifestly unsafe for the purpose for which it is intended. Recommendation is demolition.
Did you receive any response at all from the owner?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
This same owner has, I'm going to say, multiple rentals in the city,
Okay.
and we get no response.
Make a motion that the property at 89 Ruth Avenue be placed on the demo list.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion for demo, say aye. Aye. Did I hear you say aye?
Yep.
Yeah, excuse me. Motion passes. Thank you. The projects on the monitor list, do we have to address those at all, or?
Or is that where we're at? Is the
That's where we're at, those three
So,
properties?
The only property that I would request that we remove the demolition order on is 72 North Glenwood.
Is that in our packet here?
It is not in your packet.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to those.
And
No,
your
it-
reason for
Had me working something
removing it off the demo list?
Pardon me?
Your reason to remove it off
They've
the demo?
received a certificate of compliance,
Okay.
That's a good
so
reason.
it's been rehabilitated.
Okay, could I have a motion from someone, please?
I make a motion that the property at 72 North Glenwood be removed.
Off
Is that what we
the
want?
list.
Off the list?
Yeah.
Moved off the list.
Can I get a second, Mona? Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion to remove off the list, say aye. Aye. Thank you.
And I do apologize for not having these three monitored
That's okay.
properties.
I have a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
One is, you'll be sending us our 2013 meeting agenda?
No, I will be sending you your 2023.
I'm sorry, 23, yeah. What did I say, 13?
2013, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
On Friday, I'm not here tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine.
But on Friday, yes, I will.
And the other question that came up is regarding the minutes to the meeting. How do we get access if we wanted to go back and get the transcripts from the meeting?
So the transcripts are on the city's website.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Just follow it to the appeals board?
Yeah,
and-
it would just, under community development, building safety, and then, I think meetings.
Is there any chance that a copy of that could be provided to the board members at the meetings?
From the meeting, you mean from the meeting before?
Yeah, like, yeah, the previous meeting minutes at this meeting, like from our August
Yep.
meeting, would be nice to see what was discussed, because
Yes, we can.
frankly,
we
I don't
can-
have
we
that
can
good of a
provide
memory.
those.
Is it a full transcript or is it meeting minutes that are issued? A full transcript, okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'll get Melanie working on that right now to pull out each of the properties and attach it.
It would just be helpful to have minutes that we can refer back to, because a lot of times things come back and we've made motions, a lot of specific motions, and without understanding that specific motion, it's hard to know how to respond.
I agree 100%.
Okay, well, thank you. Is there anything else on the agenda by anyone? Sounds. Okay, thank you. Nice job on the packet.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. With that said, I will call the meeting adjourned. Thank you.